Greetings, friends. It's a rainy day here on the homestead, and it's probably needed because past couple days it's been super busy working outside in the garden, grinding it out, crushing it, trying to make things happen. I don't always look forward to the rain, but we do need it, and my body could use a little bit of a break. So today is going to be more of like an active recovery day where I'm still doing stuff, but I'm letting my body recover, which is definitely needed. So one of the things I've been doing here is I am checking the emails, and we are just blown away by the generosity of many of you who have donated and contributed to us with our goal of trying to purchase the land to start raising some more animals to expand our farm. So we really appreciate it. This is, oh man, I was tearing up on one of them, but it's just, oh, I don't even have words to say how thankful we are and how blown away we are.
And we really just want to thank you so much for helping us. You know, starting a homestead from scratch like we have is hard. And I know y'all out there get it because I've seen so many comments of you're starting from scratch on your own. And we know how hard it is. And we just thank everyone that has, you know, donated, and not even monetarily, but prayers and comments. Like, those do so much to lift our morale, and especially whenever you hit tough times. And we just thank you so much for being part of our community, part of our family is how we see it.
Yeah, and starting and trying to expand a farm, a homestead, a small family business is hard. It's hard physically and financially. And for those of you who are contributing to what we're trying to do, it's huge. It's a huge blessing. And I just want to thank some of you. I want to thank Sweetheart Sense. I want to thank Janet, Yvonne, Michael. There's just so many of you, and we're just so blown away. And forgive me for not being able to mention all of you, but we definitely want to thank you, and we definitely plan to continue to give back and give back even more, bigger ways. So stay tuned for that. And one of the ways is we're going to do a live stream coming up next week, April 29th, Wednesday. And if you haven't, it's going to be a special invite. To get that invitation, make sure you sign up for the email newsletter below, and we're going to send that link out in an email format, and we'll send you exact time and stuff like that here pretty soon too. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And if you want for us in this, we plan to do this each month with our members, and we're going to cover topics deeper than we can in our videos and have them as just group consultations, live Q&As. So if there's any topics that you would like for us to cover in that upcoming live stream, let us know in the comment section below. Well, since it's raining today, we're going to be doing a lot of things inside. Lacie does most of the editing, so she's going to head back and work on the video, and we'll touch base with her later to see just a little bit of her mind as she's editing the videos. And I got a couple things to do outside, and let's go look at one of those things right now. So my goal this year is to win the battle against the weeds, the unwanted plants in the garden, not have them take over, not be things out of control. And right now we're doing pretty good on that. We still have a lot. This is just the beginning of that battle, so we still have a long ways to go. But one of the things that I'm doing is in the main walkways, I'm putting down a weed barrier, so that way I'm not having the weed or cut the grass around it. So I've tried to use this tarp here, and these are tarps that we get from recycled billboard signs. I like them for using them as like in replace of silage tarps when you're doing some bed prep. However, I have found that I don't like them for our walkways. And the reason why is, see here, water just sits there. It just sets right on top. It doesn't go in, which is different than the woven landscape fabric here, which water can penetrate and go in underneath, and things can dry out easier, so there's not water just sitting right on top. So what I'm going to plan to do is still use these temporarily, but I'm going to go ahead and order, since we're doing things inside today and computer work, I'm going to order some more landscape fabric and use that for our primary walkways in our garden here. So first, I'm not sure exactly what size I'm gonna need. So let's got my tape measure here. Let's measure it out. I thought they were 5 feet, but I wasn't 100% sure. And there's some spots where it's 4. So I think the rolls of landscape fabric are in 4 and 6 feet in width. So I'm trying to double check that and see which one I want to go with. I'm leaning towards the 6 just to have a little bit of extra to play with. It's better have too much than not enough. Also, since we're on a slope, I've had to terrace the slope, terrace the hill. So in addition to putting landscape fabric down, weed barrier down in the walkways, I ultimately want to do it on the slope side as well. I'm almost even considering, with the heel that I've used as we've terraced, of making it more like steps. So earthen steps. So that's a project for another day. That's quite an extensive project, but I'm thinking about that. But I do want to have both sections, the walkway and the transition from the elevated landscape, to be covered. So that's just less areas that we have to worry about keeping the grass down. So after I get done with some of the things inside, later on we plan to come out here in the caterpillar tunnel and just transplants. I know I said I'm not going to do a lot in the garden today. That's the plan. So I'm going to try to stick to it and hold myself to it. So help me hold myself to it. But we're going to put some transplants, pepper transplants, in here, plant them in here. And we've been growing, right now we have some radishes that are growing, and these are ready to be picked, as well as lettuce, oak leaf lettuce, and the red one I can't remember right off the top of my head. But our lettuce has been doing very well this year. Oh, and while I'm here, you can see what happens to the chickens and ducks when it's raining here on the homestead. So today is kind of like what happens when it rains on our homestead. So less activity is done outside, of course, but plenty of activity out here with the chickens and the ducks. And some of them like to get wet, and some of them don't. And I'm not a huge fan of getting wet, so I'm heading back inside.
What no?
Whoa, there's Micah.
Hello.
Hello. You guys doing some homeschool? Finish up your homeschool yet?
Yeah.
Take a picture of me. How's homeschool coming along?
Good, I'm doing my last thing.
All right. So on a typical day, I would be coming right back in at this time. I would be staying outside, getting things done out around the homestead, around the farm. But back in, and during this time, Lacey's usually working on editing the videos back here, actually in our bedroom, and what she's doing right now.
Hello.
And just a little behind the scenes, I guess.
A lot behind the scenes.
So what is the typical process that you do when we start a video? So once I video like I'm doing here, where does it go next? Where does the video go after this?
Well, I take all the video clips that you've recorded and I copy them over onto the computer. I put them into the program that we use and get all that going, and then I start editing the video.
There we go. How's this one coming along that you're working on?
It's coming along. I'm getting to the point where I'll go through and watch everything and cut out what I don't need, and then I go back through and add music to where I need music, and then cut some of that down if some more needs to be taken out. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm looking for some good music to add in.
So what are you doing there, buddy?
He wants me to play with him.
You got your checklist?
Yes.
So one of the things that we have the kids do is that each of them have a checklist for the things that they need to do on a day-to-day basis. So that way they have some order and direction. And Micah has a checklist that I just made for him. And he's checking it off, and Lacey's helping him out checking it off. And for him, he has a little clip art for each of the things that he has to do each day, like get dressed. And so he's learning to do it, and this is his first day doing it. So how's it going, buddy?
Good.
What do you have done so far?
You got dressed.
Okay.
And you brushed your hair. He came in here and told me he needs to pray. That was his next thing on his list, that he needs to pray.
There's a song about that in the 90s. You gotta pray to make it today. There's MC Hammer. You gotta take out the recycling?
Yeah, that's part of his chores. Take out the recycling and feed the cats.
Get it done, man. Well, I'm gonna go ahead in there and do some emailing and all that fun stuff on the computer. Fun. I'd rather be outside. Alright, so we've gotten a number of things done here. I don't get a lot of days like this, so for those of you who send me email or direct message on Instagram, I'm sorry if I don't respond right away, but I don't get a lot of days, especially at this time of year when things are just really busy, to respond to a lot of messages, to have time to do that. But I'm trying to do that right now. I've been responding to a number of emails and sending an email out to our friends at Baker Creek, and it's hard to believe that next week would be the time that we would be going to the Spring Planting Festival, but unfortunately we are not going this year with everything being closed down, so that's a bummer. So really missing those guys there. Also send an email out to our friends. We're trying to create more of a relationship with the people at Mother Earth News Fair. We're planning to be at Polyface Farm for the fair that they're having there. So really hoping and praying that that fair will be able to take place, because I so want to go to Polyface. I've never been there before and really, really, really want to go. Another thing that I was doing here is I put in another offer for the property that we're looking to purchase. So hoping that they respond to this one and that they'll take this offer. We'll just have to see where it goes. Also had things just keep going. I also had a little mini not fiesta. I didn't have a fiesta, no party. Siesta, a nap, and wasn't a long one, but if you didn't know this, a number of like famous leaders and people, they used to take naps, from Edison to Einstein to Reagan to Churchill. They took naps regularly. Well, I don't get to do it regularly. I did get to take one briefly today. And Lacey's finished over there with the vlog, and now their ladies are working on dinner, and Josiah's probably over here sneaking a bite or two like he typically does, and I do too. But it's looking good there. What we got there, ladies?
We got some blueberry it's like muffin slash biscuit.
They're like blueberry buns, but I'm sure they're delicious.
Well, I hope so.
You helped make them? Mm-hmm. What about you? You probably just helped eat them, right? Well, I think we're gonna get ready to eat, right?
Yeah, I gotta cook some eggs, and we're ready to go.
This is breakfast night. Each week we have breakfast night. And then after that, we're gonna go out there and get those pepper plants transplanted. Well, the rain has stopped, yet it's still muddy and mucky on the ground, so we're not gonna try to do anything outside, but under the greenhouses and caterpillar tunnels and high tunnels, you can still do the things that you need to do in those beds. I know farmers who even have those pretty much all over their farms, and they just work under those. And whatever the weather is, for the most part, you can work in those areas. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna plant. Let's see, where are they at? Where are they at? Where are they at? We got some okra here, some tomato plants here, some basil, and here is the peppers that we're gonna be transplanting. And these are some heirloom ones from Baker Creek. So we're gonna take these out to our caterpillar tunnel and put them in the ground. But you can, in here is our main greenhouse. You can see we have some tomatoes that are growing, and a whole bunch of other stuff that we have growing as well. But we'll get those transplanted another day, but we're gonna tackle this today. Alright, so what I'm going to do with these peppers right here is I'm just going to interplant them right here amongst the radishes that I have currently growing. And the way I have them spaced, I should be able to space the pepper plants 18 to 24. I hope to go closer now. I like to go around 18 inches apart for my eggplant, for my peppers, things like that. So that's what we're going to do right here. And it feels good to get outside. most of the days I'm outside, and it's so good for you and your immune system to get that vitamin D. And I know some officials are saying be inside, but I'm encouraging you guys to get outside as much as you can, because that is going to help your immune system. And getting out here in the soil and touching the soil is going to help too. All the good bacteria that's in the soil just really helps boost your immune system. Well, typically at night after dinner, the boys and we clean up because the ladies make the dinner. But today, since I still need to get these planted, they're inside knocking that out while I'm going ahead and transplanting these. But let me know, what are you guys doing right now with everything that's going on the days that it rains? What are you finding to do? I hope you're not binging on Netflix and things like that all day long. So like I said, we're going to put a plant here, plant there, about 18 inches apart, right in between our radishes that we have here. So I'm hoping it'll work out fine. Looks like it should. So they're all in. Got all the peppers in there amongst the radishes, and actually had the perfect amount. I can't say I can do that every time. Wish I could, but it just doesn't work out that way. And only knocked out a few radishes along the way. But as we start to harvest these radishes, those peppers will be growing right alongside them, and it'll just be a smooth, easy transition into just being a pepper bed. One of the downsides of caterpillar tunnels and greenhouses is you can't get the rain from outside into here. So I do have to water. So watering right now to help those peppers with the transplanting process. But there they go. Can't wait for them to start producing peppers for us. And right down here, just yesterday, we planted the lettuce. And let's just check it out real quick. So it looks like this lettuce is doing just fine and adjusting to being transplanted fairly well. So we're continuing to grow. Let us know. Let me know in the comment section below what you are growing, as well as I mentioned earlier, also what you do, what you're doing right now when it rains, with everyone staying at home. So that's it for now. Get your grow on.